Have you ever been in a place where you were frustrated in your calling? That you didn't feel like you were getting traction on your journey? You weren't getting the opportunities that you thought were coming at this point. You're not feeling like you're making much of a difference or seeing results, and you get frustrated and discouraged quickly. Almost to the point where you're questioning, am I in the right track? Is this the right calling? Well, I want to encourage you in your calling today. My name is Matt. I've been a pastor in church ministry for many years. Thanks for joining me for my YouTube channel. I call it Embrace Your Calling. It's all about encouraging you, inspiring you, and helping you to define what you're to do in your calling, how to fully maximize it. Would you subscribe, like this, share this, leave a comment below of what resonates with you or what you'd love to hear more of. So let's talk about this. Are there those seasons that come that you feel like your calling is almost dormant? In other words, nothing really is happening. What's wrong? Is there something wrong with you? I've learned in my life that there's not always high productive, high effective times in my calling. And I've been there. In fact, even the last couple of years, I've had so much change in my life that I've been disoriented and a little confused and a little scared. Like, well, what's wrong? Am I done? Are my best years behind me? No. I was going through a dormant time, meaning that not a lot's happening. It's almost as if the ground of my life need to lay fallow for a while because I've produced a lot in the past. And I want to produce more in the future, but there was a season I had to rest in. That's what letting the ground lay fallow means. Letting the ground rest, Sabbath, from its producing. Or letting a gift or a muscle lay dormant, meaning it's unused, it's unproductive, yes, for a time. Makes me think of the book of Ecclesiastes in the Bible. Greatest king, most wise king Solomon wrote this book. He said, for every season there is a purpose under the sun. There's a purpose for every season. He said, there's a time to plant, a time to uproot, a time to build, a time to break down, a time to start, a time to stop. And it reminds us that God is a God of seasons and cycles. There's a spring, summer, fall, winter that is a part of the produce process. That your life is like the ground where a tree can grow. And if you want something that's going to flourish and is going to sustain through the spring, summer, fall, winter, a tree, not a weed, a tree, you have to understand there's going to be seasons where you're high productive, you're highly effective, opportunities are coming, and other times when you're just hidden and you're waiting and you're dormant. And don't let the dormant discourage you. I know it can be because I'm action prone. I want to make things happen. I want to do things. But I've learned in the seasons and cycles of my life just to hold fast, trust in God, and there's a purpose in the waiting. Waiting doesn't mean we just sit on our hands and pray and wait for God to bring things. No, there's a working in the waiting. There's a lot that can be done in the hidden, in the slow, in the dormant waiting. And so, like for me, for instance, I've written 4 books in my life. All my friends and peers are like, 4 books? You were crazy. I haven't written 1 book. And I was in a season of producing, and there was a lot coming out, and both in my work and my ministry, and even in writing music and books. But I'm in a season now where I want to write more books. In fact, I've got a few books that are kind of churning in me, but something in the season I've been in the last couple of years has said, not yet, not now. I'm not going to talk or share a lot right now. I'm going to work in the waiting. I'm going back to the fundamentals. I'm reducing right now in my life. Reducing is so painful. Editing, reducing, ending some things, even good things, because I'm going back to letting the ground rest and be fallow and the nutrients recharges. So I'm doing things like walking, going to the gym, really focusing on my marriage with my beautiful wife, Kelly, of 30 some years, in God's Word, reading books. And at work, I'm just kind of going back to the fundamentals of learning and practicing and proving myself again, and just going back to being a level 1 student learner. Because if I do that over time, that compounds and builds in my life to where now there'll be a season of producing again, writing the book, starting the ministry, having something to share. So whatever your calling is, if you feel like not a lot of opportunity is coming, or you're not getting a lot of traction, or you don't have real clarity, don't let that discourage you. Lean into the quiet, hidden times of your life and work while you wait. Worship God while you wait, and grind and practice behind the scenes, the daily habits. And I promise you, there's going to come a time out of the winter of a springtime and a summer again, if you will not waste the dormant time. I hope this encourages you. You do have a calling. God put it in you. He has given you great effectiveness and produce in the past, but He has greater fruit and produce He wants to accomplish in you and through you in the future, if you will understand the seasons and the cycles and maximize, yes, even this hidden, slow time. God bless you.